There's so many movies that you've directed which have so many moments in them where I go like, okay, that's one of my favorite comedy moments. Zoolander, the gasoline station fight.
Oh, God.
When they're throwing gasoline on each other and laughing in slow motion is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It delights me every time I think about it. Also, when you and Owen are trying to hack into a computer and you become more or less apes. So there's all this.
The 2001 kind of reference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I have to tell you something, because I was actually, for another project, I'm working on this documentary. I was looking through some of this old behind the scenes footage from Zoolander that I have, and I found an old, this was literally last week, I found an old cut of the gasoline fight. And I had forgotten that originally, you know, he lights the cigarette, and I think the way it is in the movie I watched is like he lights a cigarette, I go, oh no, and then boom, they blow up.
Yeah.
But originally it was he lights a cigarette, and I go, oh no, and you watch the flame kind of like, he drops the match on the floor, and you see the flame like, you know, kind of track under the car and go up, and then it goes up and it starts engulfing each one of the models.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it literally goes on for, I'm not kidding, for like maybe like 2 minutes where they're just like dancing in pain. Yeah.
But you know what's great? But you know what's great, Ben? That's a masterclass in the difference between this way is funny, this way is not.
It's awful. Yeah.
And you can't really explain why, but
when you watch it, you see it's awful. Like the long, and also this is like, you know, year 2000, where before real, like, you know, CG effects, where like we had 3 stuntmen doused in those, like the jelly, where they put the jelly on and actually so they're on fire for real doing this. And then the explosion was a real explosion that like knocked the windows out of the buildings across the street because it was like bigger than our guy thought it was going to be.
Oh my God.
It's just like a different time.
But that is a great, like I say, if you ever teach a class on comedy,
right,
which would sell out, just the idea of, this is the way we showed it in the movie. Yay! Let me show you a way that we didn't go with.
Right.
People crying and screaming.
If it bends, it's funny.
Yes, no, it's true. Yeah. In Tropic Thunder, when you're running across the bridge and when the kid gets thrown, I got on the floor. It's so wrong in every way. It's so wrong in every way.
Like there's not anything else that's wrong in that movie.
No. There's so much that
nothing comes to mind.
Nothing comes to mind. You know, so just the body of work, Reality Bites, Cable Guy has so much funny shit in it.
Thanks.
You know, and
all those are, you know, collaborations with people. And for me, that's always been the thing. It's like, I love working with people who are funny, and, you know, it doesn't just come from me. It's, you know, it's
well, I could always tell that because all those years when I was doing the late night show, through all your different stages, you would always show up and say, okay, let's do something. And you would come with ideas, and then you would spend a long time making this great idea come to life, working with other people, working with us. And then you would do this thing and it would be on at, you know, 12:50 at night on NBC, and you either saw it or you didn't. This was before internet, and it was just great.
And I have, for this documentary I've been working on, I've been looking at some of that old stuff, and it's just, I mean, I'm like, what was I thinking? Because it's such a commitment. And I mean, besides just looking at myself 30 years ago or whatever it is, and just like kind of like my attitude and like coming in with like, hey, I'm going to be funny, and you know what I mean? Or like, I'm going to like have an attitude with you.
Yeah.
But great. You were great. You played along, and you were always so open to it, and you were always like, okay, let's go for it and let's do it.
Now I look back on it and I think, wait a minute. We were doing a 12:30 show, and Ben Stiller would come by and work all day on doing a 9-minute comedy piece for us. You know,
but I was thinking,
how did that happen? Like that's that. I mean, I did something right in a previous life. It's
but also, you know, I was thinking about it because like I had to do a talk show next week, and I was thinking, okay, what am I going to do? And I should think of something. And then I'm like, we'll talk and we'll be fine. And I realized I'm just like, I don't have the energy for that at all anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, it'll be good. We'll come up with
that's the problem. Is a late night host now would look at like, oh no, I saw you. You did Jesus Christ Superstar with Conan. So we thought maybe you could do a thing where you're Godzilla, and you're like, no, I just want to come out in a good Tom Ford suit, chat about my work.
Yeah, I'm tired.
You were quite young when you started doing improv, weren't you?
Yeah, I was 16. I wanted to be a jazz musician when I was a kid.
Whoa.
Yeah, and
friendship over.
No, friendship begun.
There we do. I just checked you off for friendship over.
What did you
go
play?
ahead. What kind of instrument?
I played trumpet, and the way I got hooked on jazz, like all great jazz musicians, was a CD-ROM video game about the history of jazz.
I thought you were going to say heroin.
My parents got me. It was called Living Jazz.
What?
Yep, and it was hosted.
That's how you got into jazz?
Yeah.
Not hanging out in smoky clubs?
No,
as a 5-year-old?
Like all the greats, it was. I switched from Encarta to Living Jazz, and Living Jazz was like had sort of the format of a first-person shooter, but you were you're totally passive, but you're wandering through the history of jazz. That's the way it works.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so you're like, I'm going to go to Storyville and watch Louis Armstrong. I'm going to go to Chicago after the Great Migration. And whoop, there's Lester Young.
Wait a minute, that's incredible.
That's
Do
how
you ever get to shoot up the place?
You never. That would be amazing if you play enough Living Jazz. You just get to be what do they call it?
At one point, I wanted to transition to Grand Theft Auto. That's all. Like, there's a lot of jazz history, but then at a certain point, you notice, like, I think I'm in a strip club.
That's so funny. I just hit Ella Fitzgerald with a baseball bat.
People are really mad at me online.
Oh, God.
So that's how I got into jazz. And then I wanted to be a jazz musician, but then I got braces and I couldn't play anymore because it messed up my embouchure. But my parents took me, because I had to get braces, and they took me to Dr. Chops, who was this...
Come on. Was that a jazz musician?
Yeah. No, well, he was a jazz dentist.
Okay.
And he was Winter Marsalis' dentist. And we went to visit him and said, you know, is there anything that can be done? He said, no, but this toothpaste is $30 and you should buy that. And so we did. And then I went back home, and the guy who gave me braces, I feel like I've talked about this at some point, but he had a life-size mural of himself in a lab coat putting braces on the animals in the jungle. And then he also had a portrait of himself dressed as a dentist, working on himself dressed as Superman.
Oh my God.
So this guy was a fascinating character.
Yeah, I mean, we got to talk to him, too. Yeah. We got to get him in here.
I feel like anytime I allude to someone, you would prefer that they were here.
And I would just say anyone. Anyone but. But this is crazy to me, which is that, so you got braces, and they can't make a special mouthpiece that goes over your, or they were just trying to discourage you from playing the trumpet.
Maybe that was it. My parents got tired of it. But I would take pliers and rip out the wire because I would get so frustrated and I wanted to play. Then I just sort of gave up, and I had all this free time where I used to be practicing trumpet. And so my brother had gone to college in New York, and he'd gone to an early ASCAD at UCB, the Upright Citizens Brigade, and he told me about it. And I thought, oh, that sounds fun. So I would take the train up to New York from Pennsylvania, where I grew up, and I took classes. And back then, the Upright Citizens Brigade was in this kind of dingy ex-strip club where you remember this.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they had cleaned out. Yeah,
well, he remembers the strip club.
Yeah, they cleaned out.
Definitely.
They cleaned out the strip club and turned it into a small black box theater.
That's right.
Yeah.
But they would still sometimes find condoms and stuff because I guess it was a house of ill repute. And then also, I guess there was like a mix of. Someone told me that there was like, I guess for some reason the strip club was popular with Hasids. So sometimes like these Hasidic guys would come in and like sit down thinking a strip show was about to start, but then they'd just be stuck in like Brett Gelman's one-man show or whatever.
Yeah.
And like you just end up like watching alt comedy for an hour and they couldn't leave. So just the idea of like these like Hasidic dudes just watching It makes me laugh. Anyway,
I performed. I did some stuff with UCB back in the day, and I remember going down to that theater and loving it. They would do a thing where you just go out and do a monologue based on something someone shouted out in the audience, and I remembered finding it incredibly fun and therapeutic.
Have you ever had the experience of overshare? Have you ever done like a monologue or an interview or something, and then had that kind of vulnerability hangover thing where you're like, oh, I didn't want to talk about that, but I did.
I mean, I talk so much. I probably have, but I don't know that I've ever come to you, Matt, and said, take out that part where I talked about my younger sister beating me.
Oh. That was exactly the thing you asked me to take out.
I was just embarrassed that my younger sister could beat me so easily.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
Throughout the course of your life, too. It wasn't an isolated incident.
She was 3 and I was 15. And she totally just was hitting me through walls and then following me into that room and then punching me through another wall. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Do you?
Sometimes. Do you guys have that?
Oh, daily.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Sona has admitted to many crimes that she committed.
I used to shoplift.
And
really?
Yeah, my parents were horrified.
But can I ask you about that? Because I have so many questions about that, but was it the thrill of shoplifting or was it like you wanted the item? Was it you wanted to shoplift or you wanted the thing?
Thrill. Like the first thing I stole was a 45-cent sticker book from Sanrio.
Yeah.
And I could get that. I could have afforded it at that time, but I just was like, I'm just going to put it in my pocket.
And scrunchies.
And hair things. And I would steal things and I would put them on my head like a hairband and I would walk in front of the customer service reps.
Wow.
And that was a thrill. But I never stole a bunch of stuff and ran out.
When I met Sona, she was running down Olympic Boulevard holding a Samsung flat screen, a very large one.
And then I robbed you, remember?
That's right.
Yeah, I beat you with it and then I took everything you had.
You smashed it over my head, ruining the flat screen, and then robbed me of $8, which really was stupid because the flat screen was worth so much more. But I'm one of those people that in the way I was raised was someone's always like God is always watching. So every now and then I would, put gum in my mouth and I would be walking along and crinkle up the tiny little Trident wrapper into a tiny little ball and just sort of drop it on the sidewalk and keep walking. And then I would stop and walk back and pick it up. And it's not that I'm the best person in the world. It's just that I thought that I can't have that hanging over me. And I had a therapist tell me once years ago, you have the largest conscience of any, which is probably a shock to you guys, but he said, you have the largest conscience of anyone I've ever talked to.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying that those things, the idea of taking even, stealing one Alka-Seltzer from a drugstore, not because I'm better than you, because I'm superior to you.
Oh, okay.
That's an important clarification.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a really interesting thing. Like, I think there was a store where I grew up where if you stole, they would either call the police or they would take a picture of you with the item that you stole, and then they would put that picture up in the grocery store. So it's this sort of humiliation.
It also feels a little bit like Salem, Massachusetts, 1650. That kind of, this is the way we will shame people and then they will behave, or putting people in stocks. It's a public humiliation, which is something that maybe used to work. I don't know. We should do more of it.
No, okay. I thought you were saying that's not the way to go.
No, I think people should be shamed.
You're on board. Okay.
You're big. You saw the Crucible, that play about and you were like, that's aspirational.
I thought The Crucible by Arthur Miller was a how-to. I did. I said, okay, I'm down with that. Shame on ye. Shame. Remember when I tried to dunk you in water to see if you were a witch?
Yes.
And all this hair product floated to the surface?
Oh, come on.
Well, you use a lot. You use a lot.
I have curly hair, dude.
I know, but various waxes and oils, come on.
No, what do you mean? It's frizzy if I don't. Why do you have to bring that up?
I don't know.
I think
was
there's
out of
no
control.
shame in it. I think someone told me, I wonder if the shame thing works as a deterrent, because someone told me that, again, these are like uncited, probably bullshit stories, but that shoplifting in 19th century London was like a big epidemic. So they made it a hanging offense to shoplift. And the place, so they have these big public hangings, and those public hangings were where there was the most pickpocketing
shoplifting
and stuff.
Yeah, because everyone's
Yeah.
it was a great place to. And also, I think that was back when you could get shipped off to Australia for taking a loaf of bread.
That's it.
If you were starving,
Yeah.
and then you're. Boo-hoo, Australia. Have you been to Australia? It's amazing there. I wish I had been shipped off.
Yeah.
Instead, we went to America and went to central Massachusetts. Farmed.
Conan, come back. Come back.
Hey, buddy.
Come back, Conan.
It's our country too, man.
Hey, sorry, man. I blacked out for a second. I'm just saying, if they had sent me to Australia, which is where we should have been sent.
You would have surfed?
No, yeah. I'd have like a V-shaped torso right now. I'd have like a six-pack. I'd look like a Hemsworth if I had gone.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, it was just not going to Australia.
I would have lips instead of this gaping gash for a mouth. I'd have eyes that were the right size instead of these beady little rat orbs. They should have shipped me off to Australia. But no, we had to go to Sturbridge.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've never heard the word Sturbridge with so much venom.
I
in my
know.
life.
Sturbridge. Shout out to Sturbridge. It's a very lovely place.
I feel like I've met a lot of people in comedy who are, kind of lampoon, very cerebral, very smart, and often a bit aggressive.
Right.
And one thing that I've noticed over the course of the time that I've been watching you is it's really interesting. Like, I think sometimes people are so smart and kind of acidic, get more so over time, but you've somehow become... I feel like you're like warmer and warmer. Not that you weren't like warm before, but I feel like you feel like I think I was a little scared the first time I met you because I was like, this guy's funnier than me and smarter, and I'm better educated, and it's very like brainy and fast, and now I feel like I could be kind of a little bit of a puddle or a little sloppy and not feel scared. Does that make any sense?
I never thought that I will say that I am happier at this stage of my life than I was at, I think, from in my 20s and 30s, and we've talked about this, but my 20s, 30s, 40s, just so much pressure all the time. And I like to think that I was, a good person and nice to people, but I definitely am a happier person now than I was then, because you just think, okay, this is who I am, and I'm doing the best I can. You come to this. You settle a little bit in this really nice way. But also, I think smart is way overrated.
I agree.
Smart is so overrated. And sometimes I went to, this school where there were tons of, quote, smart people and who were much smarter than me. And in my career in show business, I've met tons of people who are smarter than me. They probably have a much higher IQ. I don't credit smart with a lot. I think I can think quickly and strangely, but I honestly don't think that counts as smart. And so I'm very suspicious of the whole thing, of this whole concept of who's the smartest here. Smart people have fucked up this world so many ways from Sunday, and I'm not impressed with smart. And when candidates are talking about how smart they are, I don't want to hear about it. I don't care. I think your intent and what kind of heart do you have? That's much more interesting to me than smart, which almost gets a negative connotation sometimes.
Did you feel like you were more dazzled by intelligence when you were younger? Or were you always kind of skeptical of it? No,
I think I probably was more impressed. You're more impressed with a lot of things when you're younger.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
You're younger, you're impressed with a lot of things. And then I always would see other people and think, oh, man, I really want to be, I put everybody else on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And as you know, you degrade yourself when you do that. And I was constantly not thinking that much of myself and thinking that these other people were gods and goddesses, and as that, who am I to blah, blah, blah. And then as time goes on, you start to understand that we're all in the muck. We're all tumbling around in the muck, trying to figure it out.
And I also think like reverence isolates both the revered and the whatever, the reverencer, I don't know, the reverer, like, because
man, you're not smart at all.
I see. Fuck.
I just realized I'm so much smarter than you.
No, don't push me out of here. Don't push me out. He's hitting me.
Did you guys hear that? The reverencer?
Oh no! I knew it was gonna happen.
I posed as a warm guy that wanted contact with you. Do you think I wanted to meet you outside and lead your car in?
Oh, it was all
No. Oh, I think other people are probably smarter than me. He bought it. I'm the smartest fucking man that ever lived. Sorry, that was crazy. What a weird sting! What a weird sting operation.
just to lure people in with like a promise of not being smart.
And somehow I buy it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, every time.
But wait a second.
No, you were talking about how if you revere people, I mean, it doesn't go anywhere. I remember when I first got to meet and know Steve Martin a bit, just because, I mean, his poster was on my wall. And when Steve, I'm from an older generation, but when he hit in 77, 78, I just didn't think people could be that funny. I mean, it took my breath away.
Yeah.
And a whole generation of people just started talking like Steve Martin. It was such a huge thing. And then you meet him, and anytime I would try and say, oh, I learned really quickly, don't say, oh, that time that you did such and such. And because he didn't want to talk about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My point is he's a terrible man. No, my point is that it's hard it doesn't lead anywhere. Like, you can love a musician, and if you just go up to them and say, boy, your music has really meant, they've heard that before. Mm-hmm. And there's a way to connect to them where you're both people in the world trying to figure stuff out.
Someone told me, of all these quotes, I can't remember who told me them, but someone told me fame is a mask that destroys the face. And I think,
I know that one.
Who said that?
I know that. I want to try and see if I can remember it.
I think it was
fame is a mask that destroys the face.
I think it was Avril Lavigne, maybe, but anyway, it was someone said it, and
no, I'm pretty sure it was Kaya Gerber.
That's what it was.
It was Kaya Gerber.
So there's a variation that says celebrity is a mask that eats into the face.
Eats into the face. Yeah,
John Updike.
Yeah, John Updike.
Wow.
Yeah,
interesting. But anyway,
and his face was just riddled with sores and open wounds. Because he got too famous.
It was really antibiotic-resistant MRSA that ate his face. And he blamed it.
He blamed it on his fame as an author.
It's like, you're not that famous, John Updike. You're fine. No one's recognizing you.
He went around.
Later, Freddy Krueger.
Later in life, he wore a Freddy Krueger mask. And went around and went, of course, I'm John Updike. I wrote the Rabbit series, and I can't take off this mask.
I do want to say, no joke. Have you met? What is happening between you two?
Just his look at me like, did you catch that joke? I
went down a John Updike rabbit hole as Freddie, and I look over, and Sona was looking at me like she was watching a man go underwater for the 9th time, never to return. Oh, look at him, he's drowning.
It's like you felt like he was looking to see, like, hey, I knew.
Is it one rabbit? I usually give him whatever validation he's looking for, but sometimes I just don't, and sometimes I just stare at it.
John Updike wearing a mask, showing up at a party, wasn't doing it for you. So.
Didn't do it.
You have done this show called In the Know, and you did it with Mike Judge.
Yeah.
And it is really funny and really well done. And I think you've made 6 of them. Is that right?
There's 6. Yeah.
Okay. I watched the first one before you got here, and I was like, oh, I'm totally down with this show. It takes place at NPR, and this is going to reel you in. It's NPR. Zach is the main character who's completely full of himself, named Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren Caspian.
Lauren Caspian, who is the, I think, 3rd or 4th most popular NPR correspondent.
Probably 4th, but claims 3rd.
Yeah. And it's puppets. It's like I want to almost
stop motion, right?
Stop motion puppets. and it's really funny. It's so well written, and it's so good. And of course, it's skewering a lot of the stuff that that I think needs skewering. I mean, so many things need skewering on both sides of the spectrum. But it is so funny. I was watching it and I was thinking, this makes me really happy. But one of the parts that I really like is that your character, in his interviews, the interviews are on Zoom, so it's all puppets. But then when you're talking to whoever one of your guests are, it's really them on a Zoom. And so Kaya Gerber happened to be in your episode.
She was great and very game. I mean, it's interesting. Like, I've never done stop motion before, but it's the people who did the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio. So these are like the best stop motion animators in the world. And it's crazy to see it, because one thing I didn't realize when we started, but I guess I feel like, people have a tendency to kind of winnow themselves down to one thing, or to winnow each other down to one thing, to kind of, this kind of reductive identity thing where it's like, you are this one thing, or you're this one thing you did, or one thing you believe, etc.
Right.
And so something that I always look for in stories and try to include is the kind of contradictory bird's nest of a person, And one thing that's so cool about stop motion is because each character is played by 30 different animators plus the voice actor, there's a kind of multifacetedness that's bred into the process. So you get all of these different people's little tics and imaginations and facial features and stuff in the process. I thought that was really fun. I'd never experienced that before. Also, it was also created by the Brandon Gardner, who's my writing partner and who listens to this show religiously.
Well, I thought Brandon Gardner was really the driving force behind it.
Okay, well, let's not get carried away, because
he's clearly he just felt like
he's an amazing human being.
Yeah, no, he's like a giant, powerful Evan Rood motor shooting the boat forward.
Yeah,
and then you and Mike Judge have like little tiny straws that you're dipping in the water to try and help.
But
push
he's also
it forward.
a great guy, though.
Oh,
He's just like,
I love him.
Fucking great guy.
I love
and
him.
guess what? He knows a podcast when he hears it.
Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't think we're just like a pointless ancillary rowing team on the back of his catamaran.
No, I think you guys are attractive appendages on a powerful engine that is, what's his name again? No, but one of the things that it's something that I'm really looking forward to seeing more in the show is you and one of your coworkers are always trying to out woke and out PC each other, and it makes for really good comedy, because you will be saying, well, there's an unhoused person and everyone's very sanctimonious, and then she's accusing you of being insensitive because you didn't use the latest term, and I thought, oh, this is comedy that needs to be done right now.
Well, it's funny. In the neighborhood where we're recording this, I guess a couple of years ago, I was walking around, and it's kind of like a Tony neighborhood, and I passed a house that probably must cost like $4 million or something. And in the front yard, there was a sign that said, "Defund the police." And then right next to it was an ADT home security decal that advertised that they have armed guards who are on patrols. And I was like, defund the police because you have like hired mercenaries who are like, and I was like,
with shoot to kill order.
Exactly. And then I felt very smug about it. And then I went to Go Get 'em Tiger and ordered like a whatever $19 matcha, and was like my own hellish version of the same person I was just looking down on. So I just think there's like so much. Sorry, I'm spitting. There's so much like, the kind of cosmetic progressive ideology where it's like, it's a personal enhancement as opposed to a commitment that you're making to action. It's a way of beautifying yourself, but you never really walk the walk. I mean, I think about that all the time, of like how if you look at my credit card statements and you were to look at my journal entries, there's a terrible disparity between what I supposedly care about and what I swipe my card on.
Sure. I think we all have that. I thought the show, The Curse. Have you guys watched The Curse at all? And it's with Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone. And I thought they did a really good job, too, of picking apart this. Look at us. We are pure, and we are the saviors, and we are here to right the wrongs. And there was great uncomfortable comedy about that.
Yeah.
But I just was watching this show and I thought, this is very original. I love that it's this mixed media form. And I'm down for more of these.
Thanks,
Is
Conan.
there a plan? Is the plan to make more than one season? Or you're going to wait and see?
Yeah, I guess it depends if the network wants to make more. But we've been daydreaming about it. I mean, at this point, we're just trying to kind of get it out into the world, and that's been preoccupying. But I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a boring answer.
yeah, that's a
Help me.
terrible answer.
Can we get your partner
comedy?
in here? Can I do something?
Yeah, if
Brandon.
only-
Yeah,
I'm going to
Yeah,
text Brandon.
Let's
Brandon
talk about Brandon more.
Can I just say something? This was intended to be an interview with Brandon.
Oh, shit.
But he is so in demand. We couldn't get him. Yeah.
Damn it,
And
Brandon.
there was just no getting him. So he's, I guess, on some party with Kaya Gerber and Sia and everyone else whose name.
Yeah.
That's a cool party.
It's just the three of them, though.
Yeah, just the three of them, and it's in a very large cheesecake factory that they bought out, and it's empty.
Man, I want to go. I
Yeah,
love
but
the
it's-
Cheesecake Factory.
They have so many choices.
I really
I-
do.
Can I tell you though? I made a reservation at the Cheesecake Factory once. I showed up and they were like, the wait is 45 minutes. I was like, oh no, I have a reservation. And she said, no, that's just an estimate.
What?
I was like, what does that mean?
Mhm.
So the reservations at Cheesecake Factory are a lie and a fraud.
You have
Hey,
to
can we get
always
that-
wait.
Let's get that word out.
Wait a minute.
What?
I have a confession.
What?
My stepbrother is a regional manager for
Is that true?
Cheesecake Factory.
Why haven't you
Okay.
ever brought in cheesecakes?
I think he lives in Dallas.
God.
Yeah,
I
they would.
hate
They would
that.
melt on the way.
I don't think he works for them anymore. But
Good.
yeah,
No, we're not picking a fight with Cheesecake
I'm
Factory.
telling you, I'm
Big
the Bob
cheesecake?
Woodward of the Cheesecake
You know
Factory.
what, I'm gonna be on Zach's side for a second. I think if you tell people you've got a reservation, you've got to honor that.
of course.
Now, look, I respect that Cheesecake Factory. I've never seen a menu like that.
Yeah.
It's a menu where you think of something in your head. If it's not on that menu, I'll blow my brains out. Literally, like an alarm clock covered in caramel that sits on a blintz, and then there's a bolognese sauce. Page 17.
I'd like the
Column
buffalo
4.
wings and a better relationship with my father, please.
That's page 9 and page 32.
I once asked him if it was possible if I came in and theoretically ordered one of everything on the menu, could you even produce that much food in enough time? And they said that they could. I don't know if this. Do you think that's
They have
true?
a 3D printer back there, and they just
It's just constantly and giant pneumatic tubes firing foods from all around the world at hyperspeed.
Hi, my name is Zach Woods, and I feel pick me about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
What?
Yeah.
Do you know what a pick me girl is?
I don't know. Tell
I just
me.
learned. Pick me girl is someone who is like sort of self-consciously quirky as a way of differentiating themselves from the masses so that people are like, ooh, she's interesting.
Were you familiar with this term?
I
Sona?
wasn't, but
No.
I know those girls. I
That's
know
me.
a lot of the. Oh, okay.
And so you're the in this scenario, you're the pick me girl.
Yeah, I'm the pick me girl. I'm gonna feign a kind of casual nonchalance while underneath I'm desperate for your approval and the approval of everybody here.
Well, why did you just lay out your whole strategy ahead of time?
Well, I just want to get it out of the way, and then I'll be coy for the rest of the time together.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You and I, we've got to talk about this right away.
Yes.
First of all, I'm thoroughly enjoy you so much that I was waiting for you to show up downstairs, which I never do with guests. But I was like a happy puppy waiting for Zach Woods to show up. You're hilarious, very funny fellow, and I always love hanging out with you and riffing with you. So I was there to guide your car into the parking spot.
Yes, and I will say that you described yourself as a happy puppy. The first image of your face I saw was peeking with a kind of predatory
Yes.
glance
Yeah.
from behind
Yes.
the stucco.
Yes.
And then I pulled up and you immediately told me you had to cancel because today was not a good day and there would never be a good day.
Yes, I did. Now, listen, you have to understand that's my way of showing someone I love them.
Believe me.
You
message
should have
received.
you should have heard my proposal to Liza.
What's the opposite of a pygmy girl?
Isn't I reject you, man.
Yeah.
Did you have a big proposal? I don't know if you're willing to talk about this even, but like when you proposed, did you have like a proposal, or were you just like want to get hitched?
I was sort of I had a ring in my pocket.
Yeah.
Or is that a ring in your pocket? You know, that kind of thing?
What?
Or do you just have a terrible phallic injury?
Yeah. Is that a ring in your pocket, or do you have a small circular metallic penis with a little nodule that resembles a jewel? That was my proposal.
Can it be both? And will you marry me?
Spend the rest of your life with this small, empty chode.
But with a little diamond nub on it.
No.
Which, I'm serious. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm proud of my little ring penis. No, I did have I had a day I was going to do it, and I had the ring on me. I didn't have an elaborate, some people do things like they tie it to the dog's collar, and they call the dog in the room, or they bake it into a souffle. One of my siblings had an incredibly elaborate one that involved meeting up with his fiance, who's lovely, as now my sister-in-law, on like the top of a temple, an Inca's Aztec temple, when he wasn't even supposed to be in country and being there at the same time. But I think he got the wrong temple.
Oh no!
But he eventually, found her and they figured it out. But anyway, I didn't want it to be too elaborate, so I didn't do one of those.
That makes sense.
And I think maybe this was a mistake, but I handed her the ring and I said, "You win."
Oh no! Oh
yeah.
no!
Well, just big star, top of every woman's list of if only I could. So that was probably the wrong way to go.
Can I tell you something? And that you probably won't like this. Because I know you're self-effacingly saying top of every woman's list. I don't think I've ever had a girlfriend who didn't confess to having had a crush on you.
Oh no!
Why don't these things never seep back to me?
I think you see what you look for, and my guess is that the sexual energy that's flooding in your direction is being blocked out by some sort of color blindness,
and thick sweaters.
Yeah, exactly.
I always buy sweaters that absorb and repel any kind of sexuality coming my way. Well, it's funny. We should talk about this because you and I, we have some similarities. We are both tall. And I think men with gangly, who were gangly in our youth. Would you say that? You were still quite gangly.
Yeah.
I've put on a few, but you're...
No, I've gained weight, but it doesn't... The gangliness is just it's just buried gangliness, but it's still gangly. I mean, Bobby Moynihan, the actor, once described someone's body as looking like a lowercase b, where it's like all thin and gangly up top, but then a little paunch.
Yep.
And I do feel like a lowercase b body these days. I'm gangly. I feel like I don't remember. I was thinking about, I can't remember who said this, but someone described someone as being like a praying mantis, where it's just, not a praying mantis, a daddy long legs.
Yeah.
Where there's just this little disc of cerebral energy and then legs.
Yes, that's me.
That's how I feel too.
I've always said I have legs that just go on forever. And then someone said as I was leaving the shop, "Oh, we need a torso on that thing." And someone said, "Well, we don't have a whole torso. Let's just throw half of a torso over there." So they did. And then they said, wouldn't it be funny if there was a giant paper mache head? And they threw that on top. And I went out the door, but I've always been self-conscious. I always try and wear things that break up the fact that my waist is sort of in the middle of my chest. Do you know what I mean?
Cummerbunds even in like non-formal situations.
I do. I wear them at pool parties. I wear a formal cummerbund.
I heard this thing once. I was in an acting class, which is a shameful thing to admit, but I was. And they did a scene from Frankenstein where the monster goes back. He's fucked stuff up. He's killed people, whatever.
Right,
he goes back to the doctor's lab and he goes, "Why did you make me?" He goes, I'm so ugly. I don't fit in. Why did you make me?" And the doctor says, "I just wanted to see if I could." And the monster's like, "You wanted to see if you could?" And then he goes, "Then you make me another, and you make her as ugly and detestable as I am, because I need someone to love and I need someone to love me." And I thought, that's so heartbreaking and beautiful. And I told my father that, and he's like, "Oh, I think that's that's a story about kids. Like Frankenstein's made from the pieces of a bunch of old dead people, which is essentially what a kid is, in a genetic way." And and that sort of question of like, why did you bring me here? Hangs over every parent. And when you were talking about being assembled with a paper mache head and legs and no torso, it made me think of the Frankenstein story.
But it's funny, which by the way, I just read for the first time the original Frankenstein, which is nothing like the movies, absolutely nothing like the movies, and really powerful, but very, very different, not what you'd think. Anyway, I'm just going to throw that out there, and I want to remind people, you should read. Reading's important. The more you know. That was a little starburst going by. I used to have a TV show where we could make the starburst go by, and now I'm like... I know I saw you, I think for the first time, I remembered seeing you on The Office. And then I have to say, a show that my son and I really bonded over was Silicon Valley, which, as you know, I've talked to you about it, but I adored Silicon Valley, absolutely adored it. And your character, Jared, was so funny and so delightful. And so I told my son today, that I'd be seeing you. And he doesn't respect me at all, but I saw respect in his eyes.
Good.
So it was very cool.
Me so happy. I mean, okay, I don't know how much earnestness this can accommodate, but I do want to, you can cut it out, right? You edit this. Okay.
I don't think we have the money to edit.
Oh, really?
No.
It's tough times over here?
No. We're making a ton of cash is coming in, but it's going out rapidly because
right up your nose.
Well, I don't want to say it specifically. It's not just my nose, but
he actually just snorts money.
Yeah.
God.
Really
I shred it and then I snort it.
You can't see this, but he has a terribly deviated septum with just little pieces of Ben Franklin's face. It's really horrible.
Yeah.
But I was going to say this. One of the first times I ever saw you, because I don't know if people know this, in early days of Upright Citizens Brigade in New York, before it became this kind of factory for people who would then go on to populate all kinds of comedy shows, no one made any money. No one had, people couldn't support themselves, and everyone was a weirdo and not getting cast in whatever TV shows were being made. So Conan's show was how so many people kept themselves afloat. And the first time I ever filmed anything for television, I was cast on your show to play a leprechaun with Marfan syndrome.
That's my comedy.
Which was then cut. And then I also did a bit where I had to make out with somebody while Chris Matthews narrated it. And then I think that also got cut. But the point is, I got a paycheck.
You get paid either way.
Yeah. And it was, you really sort of were like the Medici of freakazoid New York comedians, where you're keeping us, in our shitty apartments.
That makes me really happy. I've heard that from other people. It was not a selfless act because, we needed all these really talented performers to do incredibly bizarre things. So it worked out so nicely that at that time, there was just this incredible wealth. I mean, Amy Poehler used to play Andy Richter's sister on the show, and she wasn't on SNL.
Right.
And we would try to use her like once a week, and she played his sister who wore a giant headgear. And we'd give her a script that I'd like to think was a solid B. And I watched her every time take it to an A++. I mean, she was just, you could see even then, she was so amazing. And her thing was that she had a crush on me as we wrote it. And then she would start out being all sweet, and she had made things that looked like me. And then Andy would remind her that I'm married or whatever, or I have a girlfriend. And then she would go into these incredibly ornate speeches
where she'd be like invoking like Norse gods
and screaming. And but she was so amazing. But and later I was reminding Amy, like, I didn't do that to be nice. You we were lucky to have you. We were lucky to have you. We were lucky to have all these incredibly talented people. But what's interesting to me is there's a couple of people that I see in comedy that sort of had a similar build to me when I was coming up, and I always want to bond with them because the other is, I think of like you, Stephen Merchant. There's a couple of us praying mantis men out there that get into comedy.
And white men. That's what you're drawn to. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Strong white men.
I'm trying to...
Strong. I'm sorry.
No, that's the part that's objectionable. Yeah. Not the flagrant racism that I'm assigning to you.
Yeah.
But just the self-description is strong. That's the thing.
I think, it's about time white men caught a break. I've said this many times.
No, but can I say, I also, again, respectfully dissent because I'm very... you have been supportive of me in ways that it's not like we're hanging out, going fishing on the weekends. Like, you've just extended your platform, your support, your praise in a way that is completely benefitless. You know, I made a short film that you promoted that was how it got any audience at all. You brought me on your show before anyone wanted me on any talk shows. Mm-hmm. And I don't think this is unique to me. I think you're someone who has a real kind of comedy Robin Hood vibe in this way.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I have to say, it just comes from, I when people really make me laugh, I just want to be around them. I want them to do well, and then I want them to cast me in their works. Sorry. That's the long con.
Is there something specific that you like?
I know someday you're going to make a movie and there's going to be a part that I'm not right for at all. And I'm going to guilt you into giving it to me, and it's going to really hurt the movie.
And you and me. Can I ask you, this is something now I'm being selfish. And again,
No, this is the idea.
We talk. I know. Okay.
To be fair, though, if I had known you were going to praise him this much, I wouldn't have come in.
Because it's gross.
Yeah.
He hates it.
Not what you're doing. I just don't want him to get that.
Yeah. He doesn't want me to get anything good.
I was talking to a woman writes on Succession, and she said, British people don't like award shows because they don't like getting awards, and they don't like seeing other people get awards.
That's hilarious.
So interesting.
Yeah.
I love the honesty of that too.
That was my experience. It's like people have an allergy to having any kind of an interior life, and also to having a body. It's like people in the UK. I mean, I loved a lot of the people I met and worked with in the UK, but the feeling is kind of like you can't cop to having ambition or aggression or any of that stuff because it's so unseemly. But in the process of trying to kind of obfuscate what you're actually feeling inside, it can get kind of weird. It can feel sort of cunning in a way. And when I would come back from England to LA, where everyone is so just unabashedly self-promotional, I found it to be a relief, because it's like, okay, at least you're like telling me what a hero you are to my face, instead of hiding whatever self-regard you feel behind this kind of, you know.
Right.
I like people who are, like, I have a friend who talks a lot about all the famous people he knows because he's delighted to know so many famous people. And it's relaxing to me because I'm like, oh yeah, I know where you stand. It's like, can you believe it? Sarah Paulson loves me. And I'm like, I can. You're a nice guy. I mean, she just called me to ask if I wanted to come to Art Basel. And you're like, great. I don't know.
Look at that. Look at this list of numbers on my phone.
Yeah.
It is, it's funny because I find that I do this a lot, even around here. I'll apologize like 9 times before I say the name. You know, it's kind of cool that I bumped in and was in a restaurant and I saw, you know, okay, this is kind of lame, but I did see. And then you say famous person's name and you think, well, no, I work in this industry. Why am I apologizing 10 times?
Because it almost then starts to feel like that's its own kind of, I don't know, it's like a deo. You know how like air fresheners can make smells worse?
Yes.
It's kind of like the social version of that, where there's like an air freshener that doesn't quite cover up what you're doing. So then it feels like this kind of, like if you feel like you have to, okay. Money, I think, is a really interesting one.
Yeah.
Like where people don't want to talk about money because it's so uncomfortable. But sometimes when I'm around people who have lots and lots of money and they kind of try to spare me from the acknowledgement that they're rich, that's one of the only times I'm like, oh, do you feel like your money makes you better than me? Because you're protecting me from the fact that you have money. But I'm glad you have money. That's great.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not threatened by it unless the implication is like, oh, I don't want him to know because he'll feel like such a little gutter snipe, you know? And then I'm like, wait a second.
I think one of my things that I've been doing for a while, well, you've experienced this, Sona, is I go way the other way as a bit. And so Sona, I remembered when she got, you moved in, it was with you and Carrie.
Me and Carrie got an apartment.
Like a small apartment it was very nice in Santa Monica, but a small apartment that my assistant and someone else who worked on the show, a producer on the show, got. And I remember coming in and I was like, this is beautiful. Is it okay if I go upstairs? And someone was like, Conan, you know there's no upstairs. And I would act like, oh, come on. Seriously.
Yeah.
But anyway, at least let me see this. At least let me see the screening room. And she'd be like, you're a dick. I'd say, I just want to check it out.
Where's the gym?
I'd
Where's
say,
your gym? Where do you work
I just
out?
want to see the gym for a second. And she'd be like, all right, fuck you. And then I'd say like, okay, if you don't want me to see it, is it okay if I just go and check out the indoor pool? And but it was the only.
And it's when sometimes you'll like get your wallet and you'll just sneeze and all this cash
that's
will
the
fall
hardest.
out.
The hardest I've ever seen. Adam Sachs is in the room with us right now, and Adam Sachs is a very genteel fellow, and I was once he didn't know you didn't know me that long, Adam. No. Adam hadn't known me that long, and what I had done is I was talking to him, and I was preparing, but he didn't know. But I was just saying, like, look, I don't know. I just feel like I'm anyone else here, and I don't really feel like I'm any different than I was in high school. I went to a public high school. My parents didn't have much money, and we just grew up in a middle class house. And I just think I haven't changed. And then I sneezed very convincingly and loudly. And what I had done is I had a money clip filled with money, and I had rolled it up and hid it in my hand. I went, Kah! And this giant wad of money came out my nose and shot onto the floor. And I was like, oh, damn it. Like, every time I sneeze, a lot of money comes out. And Adam covered his... What will you say?
Oh, my God.
I'm crying now just remembering it. And I've remembered it many times.
Shrieking.
I fell out of my chair. I was yelling, covering my face. And we had only known each other maybe for a couple months at that point.
Yeah. You really didn't know me, and so sometimes like my comfort zone is something that's so insanely over the top, Warner Brothers cartoony, wrong that it's okay.
I think
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's funny that you said that he snorts money because that
It makes
it's
sense.
clear now
right?
that I do. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm really happy because I think you did my various late night shows. You were on like 11 or 12 times, and always a reliably great guest. And I thought in that format, I couldn't really get to know you because it's a very different situation. There's a band, and you got 7 minutes with Zach, and then we move on. We go. And I thought I'd really like to get to know this guy, and I started to do. Looking into your past, and I was really surprised by a couple of things, which is I didn't realize you grew up in this, it's sort of a religiously schizophrenic situation where your dad is Jewish and your mom is Protestant?
No, she converted before they got married because he was super into Judaism at the time, and he wasn't going to marry a non-Jewish woman, so she converted.
She was Protestant when she met him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he said, I love you, but you would definitely need to convert for this to go further. And she didn't really have much connection to her religion, and she was interested, and she was very in love. And she said, okay, I'll do it. I love you, and I'm not really connected to my own religion, so I'll do it. And then she, as what happens with some people, she got super into it and like made my dad more religious. Like she made the family kosher. And
this is not uncommon. This is quite. I mean, I've heard of this, and I've known people that have gone through this, where someone converts, and then almost because it's new to them, they go farther.
Yeah, because also I think some of those people are looking for a thing, looking for a passionate group or religion, and then when someone provides it with them in a really educated way, they go all in. They're like, "This is amazing. I haven't had this." So it was kind of funny that then we were like really religious and I wasn't born yet, but by the time I was around, we were kosher and as far even as extreme as like doing separate dishes for meat and dairy and like for real kosher, and
it surprises me as someone who was raised Catholic when I've had, years ago I remember talking to a friend who's another comedy writer who was very Orthodox, and he had just moved into a new apartment, and there were things that took me by surprise. I remember talking to this friend of mine once, and he said, "Yeah, I can't talk right now. There's a rabbi here with a blowtorch."
What?
And I said, "What?" And he said, "Well, he's in the kitchen, and there's a special rabbi that comes who uses a blowtorch to burn out any trace of, I'm guessing, pork or shellfish or anything that could possibly..."
They call it treif, which is, I don't know if it's Yiddish or Hebrew for things that are not kosher. I was told, and we never did this, but that if we messed up, the plate would have to be buried in the backyard. Like if you put meat and cheese on that plate, it was done. So that way we're gonna have to. No one's ever followed through on this, and I don't know if I'm naive if to know if people who are super religious Orthodox really do that. Right. But that was sort of in the back of my childhood brain, was like, don't mess up or this poor plate's going to get buried.
They should use them. You know, it'd be great if they use them for skeet shooting instead. You know, if like, oh, wait, a little bit of cheese got on that plate, and then suddenly it gets fired in the air, and a bunch of rabbis with shotguns shoot it to pieces.
Rabbis with shotguns doing
I just love that.
Shooting.
They were just like, and they were specialized. That's what they did. They had guns, they were ready to go, and they would shoot these trafe I love trafe.
Trafe.
I've heard that before.
I've never heard that one.
I wish that was my rap name.
Oh.
Do you need a rap name? Are you rapping?
I am rapping, and I'm
so you
DJ
do need a
Trafe.
I don't know if you. I think I'm more likely to go to an Israeli rapper than you.
I rap about all the things that are trafe and that we can't eat.
What was funny is that
cool.
what was funny that so my mom then they got divorced when I was around 8. And my new stepfather was not into this at all. So, and then my mom, again, being in love and accepting a new life, was like, yeah, forget about all that.
What?
Well, no,
what a whiplash for you.
Exactly. Because,
You're going, that's
because
crazy.
I was in joint custody. So we would go, my sister and I have 2 older brothers who opted out, but my sister and I would go a week with one, and then a week with the other. And we were with my mom. We were not kosher and not religious. And we were with my dad. He was strict kosher and religious. It was a trip.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
And so,
and then when I turned 13, I had a bar mitzvah, and I did this sort of jujitsu move on him because he was all about how now you are a man. And I said, well, if I'm a man now, I would like to eat a cheeseburger.
Wow. How'd that go over?
He to his credit, he knew he's. By the way, I don't mean to say that he wasn't an incredibly loving man. He was just a religious man. So he got it. I mean, he smiled at the jujitsu move.
Right.
But then he knew I was battling this thing of like mom's house one week, his house, and so it became like when you're in my home, I ask that you respect being kosher, but out in the world and whatever, you are a young man now and you can do whatever you want.
It's so interesting because I would so many people that if your name comes up, I think the first thing they would think is because they know you as primarily as this performer on screen, and you're very likable and chipper seeming, and I happen to know that a lot of anxiety when you were young.
Yeah.
Do you think was that stem from the divorce, or do you think that was just a natural condition?
I think I definitely was a very anxious child. I got diagnosed with OCD as a very young. I was doing a lot of the tapping stuff that people suffer from.
Yeah.
And it would manifest in a weird way. Like the example I give to people who never had experienced any of this at all is you're a child and you say, if you don't kiss that teddy bear 6 times before you leave the room, something bad could happen to the family. And then even as in your young brain, you go, I know that's not real, probably, but just to be safe, let me do it.
Exactly. Do I want to risk it?
Why risk it?
Right.
It's like superstitions for regular people. Like you don't walk under a ladder, you don't do this, you don't do that. But in a child's brain, it's like, why would I possibly risk it? But then the kisses of the teddy bear, you didn't quite get right. Felt like did I do 6 total? I think I miscounted.
The bear doesn't look satisfied.
The bear is seeing someone else.
The bear.
The love has gone out of this. Once the sex goes, it's over, says the bear.
That's hilarious. I never thought of it like that. Like the bear was like, give me more.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there was a lot of that tapping stuff, and yeah, I think of course the divorce was stressful, and joint custody is stressful, and you would get settled in one home, and then Sunday you'd have to switch to a completely different environment.
Right.
And my sister and I would be quite upset because both environments were so different, and then it would take till like Wednesday to kind of get acclimated.
Right.
And then you moved Sunday, so there was a lot of stress. I don't mean to blame that on my parents entirely. I think some of it is genetic, and I was an anxious boy.
Yeah, I relate to that just because I think I had and you know, my parents stayed together. I tried to get them to separate. I'm still working on it. My dad just turned 94. My mom's 91, and I think it's time now that I said, look, just try living separately for a while. I think they should see other people.
Are they close? Are you close?
What's that?
Are you close to getting them to do it?
I think I'm pretty close.
Okay.
Several times I've driven my father to a motel, but he won't get out of the car. But
you drove me.
Well, I say, look, it's nice. That's a comfort hotel.
Newly single at 94 sounds pretty bad.
Yeah.
Any hotel that still says free HBO on the sign, you know. They haven't changed that sign since 1983. Let's talk about a good person, because I watched this last night, and you did an amazing job, and you wrote this, you directed it. I don't want to give away too much, but it is a heavy movie in places, but it has to be. I mean, you're talking about the main character, who's played by Florence Pugh, goes through this incredible, very intense situation early in the film that reverberates throughout the rest of the movie. But I mean, the cast, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's pretty extraordinary.
I just was. How do you get Morgan Freeman to do your movie?
Well, I'll start with that. I had made a studio sort of heist film. It was a remake of Going in Style with him, Michael Keaton and Alan Arkin. And so we had a relationship, but I never thought he was even a possibility, because this was a little tiny budget indie, and Morgan doesn't usually do those. So I wrote the movie for Florence. We were in a relationship, and I just think she's the most incredible young actress on the planet. I was and am in awe of her, and I was dealing with a lot of grief. So, which I can talk about more if you want, but I'll just circle back to Morgan. I wrote this piece. It was about. I wanted to mix the story of grief with humor, because I don't want anything that's too maudlin. I mean, yes, there's a lot of drama in the film, but there's a lot of humor as well.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
And so it was real. It became real, and I said, I'm just going to start with. And there was a character of a senior citizen who I wanted to be some great acting legend, and I thought, well, why don't I? This is crazy. He's never going to do it, because we can't afford to pay him the Morgan Freeman amount of money. But I do know him, and I know he likes me, so let me try. And I remember Florence, we were in my den, and my phone rang, and the times Morgan and I have communicated, it's never been over a phone call. It's always been he'll very curt text. But my phone rang, and she held it up, and it said Morgan Freeman.
Oh, wow.
And I grabbed it. I was like, she's like, answer it. And I picked it up, and he said, I see myself on every page of the script.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
And that's when my life changed again. And he said, he goes, I don't normally do this, but meaning attach myself to a movie that isn't even really fully set up yet. But I'm with you. And then, of course, we were on our way to being made.
It's so crazy, because, I mean, that's an amazing story in and of itself, but also Morgan Freeman has the most, next to like James Earl Jones, the most iconic voice.
Yeah.
And especially voiceover voice.
Yeah, he used to be my voicemail message, because he lost it when we were making Going in Style. He lost a bet to me, and my prize was that he was my outgoing voicemail message.
What was the message?
It was like, "Hello, this is Morgan Freeman. Zach can't come to the phone right now."
Oh my God.
Zach can't come to the phone. He's with Andy Dufresne.
I guess I just miss my friend.
I miss my friend. Because hope is a thing that you have to hang on to. It'd be great if it just kept going and going and going. The penguin must sit on the eggs. Wait, we're doing that now?
He does have the most beautiful voice.
Oh my God! Well, I mean, he's fantastic, and I mean, God, Florence Pugh is incandescent.
Yeah.
She's
next level.
And
also there's Molly Shannon as well.
Molly Shannon playing the mom is terrific, and you know what I like is I'm drawn to stories where everybody's vulnerable and everybody's flawed.
I think we all have our own stuff, and
Not me.
Except you.
Yeah, no.
Really?
Yep.
That doesn't at all check with what we know of you. That's.
I think you have a skewed view, but anyway.
All right.
I wanted to. I feel no one. Everyone has their flaws, and everyone is battling what they're battling.
Yep.
I wanted to make a movie about grief and standing back up from grief, but not have it be so maudlin and depressing that you just don't want to watch it. So in order to do that, I thought of times in my life that have been so dark, but then someone, and I'm sure at least you, because I know your personality, can agree that someone then finally says something funny and you have this release where you're like, thank God.
Yes, the experience of joy or laughter is much more powerful if the pressure's built up.
Yeah.
So when it's finally released, I think that's the trick.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to do, is because I felt that in life, at some of the darkest times in my life, someone says something funny and you just all belly laugh because you got nowhere else to go but up. And I wanted to sort of put that into the film, that just when shit's getting real and people are things are really grim, there's a comedic release.
Is there because I'm thinking, again, I'm trying to put myself in your place, which is impossible. But if I say cut and then I have to go up and give Morgan Freeman a note, you know what I mean? It feels like it would be you. Yes, you have earned the right. You're a proven director. And you're the writer-director of this film, and you've earned the right, but still it's Morgan Freeman. Well, and you must flash back to, I remembered when I was working at Chili's.
With Morgan Freeman.
With Morgan Freeman, but it was his Chili's. He was the manager.
It's funny you say that. Well, first of all, Morgan really only would prefer to do one take of every single thing.
Oh, wow.
But as a director, that's usually impossible because there's multiple. Morgan Freeman is truly almost always perfect, but there's a background person that crossed in the wrong spot, or the camera was out of focus. So you often are in the position as a filmmaker of saying, okay, that was an awesome take one, we're going to go again, and then you would hear wah.
Oh my God.
Wow. Oh. And then I have to be like, Morgan, you were awesome. We can do better with the camera, and also can we change those blinds, and can you not cross when that you're directing the movie like you normally do.
Yeah.
But part of it is like he's very he teases like that. He's very he's like that. That's his vibe. But a little bit of it is like, let's keep moving. But he knows I'm going to do more than one take. And in terms of the directing thing, I would say the best analogy I can use with someone like him or someone like Florence Pugh is you're not teaching or telling them how to act.
Right.
You're having it's analogous to a conductor who has a genius first violinist. I can't play the violin like that person can, but I can say, I need to hear the bassoons a little more. So at that section, can you quiet down? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to him and being like, bro, what are you doing?
Morgan! Jesus, Morgan! What the hell was that?
I'm going to him and engaging in a conversation going, do you think that maybe in this scene it should be more X because later we're going to do Y?
Right.
And then more often than not, he's like, that's good, let's do that.
So if I had gone up to him and said, hey, Morgan, it's called acting.
That would have been horrible.
Let's give it a try, shall we?
That wouldn't have worked.
Shortest directing career ever.
Conan O'Brien was a movie director for, it says here, 8 seconds.
For one take, yeah. For one take. You wouldn't even gotten the wow.
Oh, no. Oh, I know what would have happened. Suddenly he's not there. And people are packing up equipment.
Hi, my name is Zach Braff, and I feel so honored about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
Thank you for reading that just as I dictated it to you minutes ago. It was so nice. You light up a room. I'm going to say that.
Thank you.
I had a Christmas party not long ago, and at the last second...
I crashed it.
Well, you didn't crash. A mutual friend revealed that, he said, is it okay if I bring my friend Zach Braff? And I said... what do you mean, is it okay? Who's unhappy to see Zach Braff?
Thank you.
You are a very well-liked fellow.
Well, it was a very fancy party. I mean, you have a lot of friends. I know the gag here is that you need a friend, but you have a lot of fancy friends.
Well, that's everyone who's done the podcast. And when you sign the release, it says you have to go to my Christmas party. But it was really, but I love the phrasing of, is it okay if Zach Braff comes?
Well, what happened was our mutual friend said he was going, and I was like, wow, I love Conan, and I'm pretty sure after all these years, I have a pretty decent sense that Conan likes me, but I'm not
Ouch.
I'm not I haven't been invited to the party.
Because I didn't, I mean, first of all.
No, I mean, we don't hang out socially. We have a couple of times, but not that much. But anyway, so I said, and he goes, well, obviously be respectful. I'll just call and ask, and I got a yes, and I was like, oh well, now I gotta look good for Conan.
Yeah, and
because I felt like it was a bit of an audition.
You were wearing a gorgeous gown.
No, that gown, silk. That was a contender for the Emmys, and I said, you know
what? But I saw you, and immediately we're hanging out, we're having a really good time, and everybody was excited to see you.
Yeah.
I should point out.
Yeah, of course.
They were. Yeah. But I should say, I keep saying our mutual friend. We should reveal it's Mr. T. Mr. T.
I wish it was Mr. T.
It was. Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if the three of us just cruised around and had fun?
It's Bill Lawrence, who is an incredible friend of mine and mentor to me, and he created Scrubs. He created one of the creators of Ted Lasso, and is one of the creators of this new show Shrinking, and He's one of my best friends, and also been a huge Big Brother mentor to me, who is also your friend.
Yeah, he's a very good man, extremely talented.
Yes, very funny.
Great guy. And so I was so glad that he brought you along, and that made me think, man, we got to grab this guy for the podcast.
Thank you. And I left the party thinking I need more cool friends, because I only have a few friends, and they're cool. I love them. But you have a lot of cool friends.
Yeah, I guess.
Or is that just a Christmas party and you're just really stacking it?
Yeah, it's all stacked. and you see that
I hung out with Paul Rubens at your house.
Isn't that crazy?
I've met Paul, and he's very sweet. He sends me a Christmas card and a birthday card every single year. But I never hung out with him socially other than to meet him.
Very sweet guy.
Couldn't have been nicer. And he was at your house, and I was just like, I can't believe I'm chilling with Paul Rubens.
Also, the urge to call him Pee-wee is so strong.
No,
and you have to call him. He is Paul. He's Paul Rubens, and you get used to that. But I've been with him when people are like, Pee-wee! He's not Pee-wee now. He's Paul. He becomes Pee-wee.
I'm sorry I did that.
I know.
I love Pee-wee.
I think you did, actually.
I did.
Yeah.
Did I? I don't think I did.
No, I'm pretty sure you.
I loved.
You were so
I loved his show when I was young.
Of course. Yeah. Well, it was revolutionary.
I had the doll that you pulled the string. I had Cherry that you put him in.
Yes. Well, also it was so revolutionary because it was that show that you could watch on two levels.
Yes, absolutely.
There were kids watching it, just loving Pee-wee, and then there were all of us watching it on this completely different level. So subversive and cool.
In a way, it was like kind of that before The Simpsons was that. Right. I mean, I feel weird. I feel real weird telling you that, but it's like it was an early thing that was kids will get it on one level, adults will get it on another.
Yes, there's all kinds of stuff going on The Simpsons that you now watch. I mean, that's the I think and the Batman series of the '60s was the same thing where you can watch it. Wow, Batman got the Joker. But when you're a little older, or when you're seeing it and you're watching it and you're thinking, oh my God, they're making all this commentary on all this insane stuff that's going on in the world. And instead of what is the mayor of Gotham is Mayor Linseed, as in linseed oil. So last night I was watching this project that you did together, and this fascinates me because first of all, this thing looks. It's beautifully done, this project. Yeah. It's funny because you probably grew up in an area where in an era, Kurt, where there's TV and then there's film. And I think we're in this world now where stuff that comes out on TV, streaming, Apple, you look at it and you think, this is cinema. It's so beautifully done. And it's just a different world.
Well, that's what, when this came to us to look at it.
Monarch, Legacy of Monsters,
And it was Godzilla. So, first of all, you go, well, God, Godzilla, or and it's like,
wait a minute, which Godzilla? No, the refined Godzilla.
And that's what we were
in Downton Abbey.
Yeah, we were like, well, but what, so we started talking about it because it was obviously, it could be epic, it could be cool. I'd seen Godzilla when I was probably 8 or 9 years old and never forgot him, but it just became, the movies are about the monsters. You see them, that's what it is, and it's fantastic, in a certain way for a certain audience. They love it. But we also, when it came to us, we started talking about it. We said, that's not something we would probably want to be interested in doing because it's just not, I don't know, it's not, doesn't hit us. But that was not what they were wanting to do. They were wanting to look at this thing and take the human condition that was living with it, and do a real true sci-fi where it's a relatable human experience, and there are people who are dealing with this, and that was very interesting to us. And so we started talking about it, and ended up doing it and loving that we did it, because it really, the fact that Apple would put this kind of effort into it, the fact that the showrunner and the head writer were as invested in it as they were, the fact that they really went out to get really good actors to do it, made us feel like, this is something that maybe we should seriously take a look at, and we'd have the opportunity to do something nobody had ever done, that with two known actors, father and son, playing the same person.
That's the part that blows me away, is you are the younger self, you are the more mature self.
Yeah, slightly older.
I say more mature. Wiser. But no, somehow less wise. But it's really cool that you're both playing the same character, and so I would think if you're preparing for a role like that, you're kind of going to be eyeing each other. You don't have scenes together because that's not possible, obviously, but you're going to be trying to figure out each other's physicality. I mean, I'm guessing that might be part of it. No?
That was sort of the unspoken thing that was in the back of our heads the whole time.
Right.
The thing that was fascinating for me, because Wyatt's was going to be different, was first of all the opportunity to watch him work. Mm-hmm. And how he worked, and the things that it would remind me of, or things that I would learn from him watching him. But I've never done a character where somebody else was starting it out.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, we talked about this with the guy not having a big limp, and now I see you limping around. I mean, okay, so
I don't have a limp.
Or whatever, right?
That's true.
Yeah. And so
whatever he lays out there,
that's it. Yeah.
Because it's you in the 1950s. Whatever he lays out there, you have to pick up on. So just to be mean to you, he could drool a lot.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean.
Just drool all the time.
Yeah, it's like,
and scratch his face like this, and it's like, pick up on that, old man. I better see that in your role.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's funny, but it's also like, well, okay, I'm going to have to do what, and so the thing about it is that, and I'll let Wyatt talk to it, because he really, he's absolutely fantastic in the show, and I love seeing the reaction to him in it. He was going to establish these things that we were going to do. So we had to be in line. His rhythm, we have idiosyncrasies that are the same, mm-hmm. familial things. We knew that those would be there, and then we would work on the look and kind of this and that. But it was really the fact that we have different rhythms. That was something we were going to have to deal with, and find. And then what you find yourself in doing, and that is finding a character that you really want to play. But I mean, it was fun to go down to his set, watch him work.
Do you get intimidated at all first of all, my dad's a microbiologist, so it's not like he would, but I would still, if I knew my dad was in the audience when I was doing a show, it felt like more pressure. Even if there's 7,000 people in the crowd, if I know my dad's there too, because it's my dad, it felt like a level of, but I don't know if you had that when your dad's watching you.
I think early on there was a sense of like, I want my dad to think that I'm good, like I'm a good actor or whatever. And then there'd be things he'd see or that I'd write, and he'd be like, "No, that's okay." Like when in the beginning, and so you always want that to be part of it. But I learned, I think, beyond my dad and getting a little bit of success in film and also in hockey, it was the same thing. like you just can't do it for that. Otherwise, like you will sink yourself your whole life. It just will suck you dry. Like you'll never, that's an insatiable desire that you cannot quench. And so I really started going down the road of like, no, I really am just going to do what I want to do. And if it, like I said earlier, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if my dad doesn't like it, like that doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It's just, you know, but he's been always so supportive. It wasn't ever something that like they were just great parents. I mean, they always wanted us to do well. They were always supportive. And then they also disassociated from it enough to where it was like, hey, it's great work if you can get it, but I'm not going to be in your hair about this stuff all the time.
Cool.
And we never talk about it. You know, this was the most we'd ever talked about film outside of, you know, being on a movie set. It was like we had to talk about it a lot because you had to like make sure the character was congruent and point A to point B, and you have an arc, and you got to like hit those spots and stuff like that. So it was really fun to work with him off camera. Seeing how I'd seen how he'd worked all the time when people would come over to the house and I'd be playing a video game or watching SportsCenter or something, and you'd hear meetings, right? And then all he ever did in those meetings was try and make the movie better. Never was it about like me. It was just not the way he is. It wasn't the way, and it seemed like a good way to do it because his movies were always cool and people loved them and they were always good. The movie's good, you're going to be good. And so I took that approach, and then as I moved on with my career, that's been good for me and worked for me, and now we were able to do it together, and it was awesome. You know, it was really fun to be able to do. Funny story about getting cast as Godzilla, though. Our doula, doula, for those of you who don't know, they help you deliver your child. Mm-hmm. She was with my wife, and we were getting the offer to do Godzilla. And I have like a relatively large jaw. You can't see it without my beard.
Ever since Jason Russell.
And so, yeah. and my wife goes, yeah, he's going to do Godzilla. Him and Kirk going to do Godzilla. Wyatt's going to be in Godzilla. And the doula goes, oh my God, he's going to be so great as Godzilla. So I always pictured him with that jaw, and I'm like, I'm not playing Godzilla.
Looks so much. He's such a radioactive lizard.
Yeah, I was like, oh no. Like,
that would be great if you agreed to it thinking it was this other thing, right. And it's your dad doing all this complex acting, and you in a rubber suit going. Your dad's like, you're killing it. Yeah. You're doing a really good job.
Way to go, son. I'm proud of you.
Well, this is extremely cool for me because this is a double treat. I've, as you know, long been a huge fan of yours, and we've talked about it many times. Even some of the movies that people don't all know, I've watched those movies like Bone Tomahawk and said, man,
after that conversation,
I will go see, if you're in it, I go see it, and I never regret it. And then to get to meet you, because I really love your work. I love what you're doing. And I also, you are so much your own person. And it's very satisfying for me to like get to meet your son. I keep wandering around the neighborhood because I know you live nearby, and I always see this bearded guy kind of see me and then duck behind a hedge.
Well, next time I'll wear bells and you can hear me.
Good. It's like a bear. You're like a bear. I have to make noise around you so you don't attack me.
You're right.
Do you ever see Sandler? Adam Sandler lives in our neighborhood.
Yeah. Adam bought our old house.
That's right. Yeah. And this is what Adam does. You know, it's LA, so people are supposed to, you know, you call first, you send a text, maybe we'll get together at a neutral. It's not like, that's a weird thing about LA. People just don't go over to other people's houses and ring the bell.
Right.
Except for Sandler. Sandler will come and stand outside my house and go, Cody! Cody! It's like Streetcar Named Desire. He's yelling. And I'll open the door like, what? And he's like, how's it going, buddy? And then he says, everything's the best. How's it going with you? It's the best. It's the best. Did you know that Kurt Russell and Goldie live? Yeah, they're the best. You seen Wyatt? He's the best. You ever had botulism? It's the best. The best of the diseases, buddy. And then he takes off again. Yeah. But
well, thanks for saying that. I know I know how hard it is for you to be earnest.
I appreciate it.
I've got a bone to pick with you, Woody.
Thank you. Good.
Here we go.
What did I do?
Well, let's say you guys are, I don't know how many, it was maybe 6 months ago, you guys are recording a podcast here. And afterwards, you're out in the hallway and you come up to me and we're chatting. And you say, hey, Conan, how about going in 50-50 with me on a houseboat in Amsterdam? And I never in my life said yes faster. Not because I want a houseboat, not because I want to be hanging out in Amsterdam, which is a fine place, but I wanted to be able to say, yeah, I co-own a houseboat with Woody Harrelson. I think that's in Amsterdam. I think that would be the coolest thing in the world to say. So I said to you, yes. And you went, well, you need to talk to your wife. And I went, nope. We're in. Whatever it costs, I don't care. I'm in. You went, well, that's great. That's great because we're really thinking about doing this. And I said, well, I'm in. I'm your guy. And you went, well, great, man. This will be great. Come in. Don't see you for a while. Come in like 2 weeks later, and you're in this room interviewing Flea and Red Hot Chili Peppers, and you say, hey, man, you want to go in 50-50 on a houseboat in Amsterdam? And I'm out there and I'm like, asshole!
Conan.
Just because Flea came along. Who's cooler than Conan?
He came to me.
No!
But he changed the fucking city to Copenhagen.
What?
A houseboat in Copenhagen.
What's going on? I'm serious. This is not a bit. Hey, America.
I know.
This is not a bit. What are you doing? Is there a houseboat? Is there a houseboat? And where is it? And now you've got Flea on the line. I'm on the line. Ted's on the line.
We were in Copenhagen after this, and Mary and I went to see the boat that
it exists?
The one they were looking at exists. We took photos and selfies and
You're still in this. We're still
I'm not still in it.
No question.
I'm not still in it.
Well, nail him down on the city for
Hey, but you and me and Teddy.
Oh, so Flea is just a passing fancy. It's Copenhagen.
Yeah.
I was so excited. And I was going to be telling, it was going to be like the third thing in my bio after I worked on The Simpsons. It's going to be co-owns a houseboat with Woody Harrelson. And I didn't care if I took a total bath. I didn't care. I'd take everything I have and put it into that just to be able to say, and maybe have one experience where you and I are hanging out in the houseboat with our wives and it's not going well, and I just write it all down. I was dying to do that. And then Flea.
Passing fancy. This is happening.
Now, you, as a friend of Woody, should tell me, would that be a terrible mistake?
Yeah.
Okay. Bad idea.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. That's a true story.
Oh, my God.
I was all excited. This man broke my heart.
By the way, I didn't know he'd come to you or Flea for that matter. I just thought he'd come to Mary and myself.
Here's the thing. Once this podcast goes out, people are going to be left and right all over Hollywood.
Yeah.
And probably in parts of the world where people aren't even in show business are going to say, no, he came to me. That man that come to me. It's a houseboat. He was on the cheers at the Woody. Why? Why are you doing this? What perverse, sick pleasure do you get out of this?
I know it sounds a little twisted when you put it like that. I don't remember that whole Flea thing. That was, as I said, passing fancy. But you, me, Teddy, we're going to have a houseboat.
1.5 shares, yeah.
I am in.
Adjust your sights to Copenhagen.
I'd check with your wife. Okay. I would check with your wife. Guess what? Nothing.
Yeah.
Check with your wife.
I know. Oh, right. No, you're right.
How many times I'd be like in that situation? Oh, believe me, I wear the pants in this relationship.
Do you guys enjoy doing the podcast together?
Yes, I'll speak for us. I haven't seen him for a while, but yes.
You're not in all of them. I'm going to be clear about that. You're there on some, and then in some your hot air balloon crashes and you can't get to the studio. So you're there for some, but you guys have a great chemistry. It's really fun.
Yeah, and Woody's friends with the world, and the people that have come in because of Woody has been this really a treat for me. I got to meet so many new folks, and we get to reminisce and we laugh, and I love you. I love you. I'm getting teary again.
I love you, brother.
Yeah. Bastard.
Amsterdam. There's always the I love you followed by bastard. It's such a fine line between love and hate.
It can be both. Yeah. They can coexist.
Well, anyway, I love doing it. I love our podcasts.
And it's not a show, one of those show watch podcasts where you watch episodes and talk about it. I'm sure people would like that, but I actually think this is more fascinating to hear you guys. You're just great at shooting the shit and talking to people.
And there's some reminiscing, but it's very, very, here and there. I think the conceit was, hey, let's hang out together. We miss each other. Let's catch up with each other. And I'll share my friends and he'll share, we'll share friends with each other. And that was kind of the conceit of getting together. Because the truth is, it's to hang out with each other.
If you can turn a friendship
into moneymaker.
I wasn't going to go that way.
Sorry. We'll cut that.
No. We're going to keep that in because that's essentially what it is. How can I monetize this friendship? I do think, though, the big, there's not a day that goes by where I don't realize that I would be, most of the things I've done in my career, whether it was a late night show or any of the shows I've written on or the podcast or the travel shows, I'd be doing that anyway. Do you know what I mean?
You'd be doing what?
I'd be doing that job anyway,
monetizing.
I would not be monetizing it. In fact, I want to make it clear, I've always refused to take any payment for any of my work in comedy. Any.
No. It's amazing how you
in
can
comedy,
get by
but that works out though, right?
Direct hit! Oh my God! The SS Conan sinking beneath the waves. Steam and hot oil pouring from the portholes.
New patron saint.
I wouldn't have lasted 3 seconds on Cheers.
No.
I'm glad.
Oh, it was a tough group, though. Boy.
We used to, towards the end, when guest stars would come, at first we would all over them. We'd give them mugs and we'd take them to lunch and we'd do all of this stuff. Towards the end, it was like, I hope you can swim. Basically, is what we would say to them.
We'd have our straws spitting.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you guys would shoot spitballs at each other all the time.
Not at each other, at a specific target. You'd open your mouth as wide as you could to give them a target. And then every once in a while, you get one in the back of your gullet.
Did you ever do this on a live?
Wait, who groaned? Who groaned?
I did.
Yeah,
really?
Sorry.
Spitballs?
Spitballs in the mouth?
In the mouth.
Yeah. I mean, if
that's the best way to transmit the disease.
We would sit across from each other like this, and you have yours, I have mine. You start, you open.
Oh.
I missed. It goes here. Then you go, and you keep going back and forth until.
Did this ever show up? Does this ever show up on camera if you're looking at old episodes?
I swear that I thought it was George Wendt. Yeah, George has spitballs in his hairline. Because one of the things...
I thought that was a skin condition.
No. Okay. Spitball. One of the things during rehearsal, if somebody was having trouble with a hefty amount of dialogue, we'd all look at each other. We'll be there for you on the night, pal, and then just pepper them with spitballs.
Relentless. And then they remember to do that thing. Georgie was the best at it, where you just close one eye as he's talking to you, like the camera's over him, so you can't see it. But it's the simplest thing, but god damn, it starts to get funny if the guy keeps, Oh my God.
Did you guys have a ritual after the taping? If the
foosball, booze, or maybe not so much booze, but definitely pot. Foosball and pot.
That sounds like a fun ritual. I was in the one show a day business.
Yeah,
so
you can't.
We had a party the first night we did one in 1993. We were all hungover the next day and realized, if this goes well, we have 30 more years of these to do every day. We can't have any parties.
But you could Friday night. You would.
No, everyone was just too broken.
Tired.
Yeah, and they would go. Everyone just wanted to get away from each other. So we never had that. You'd have a Christmas party or something, but never had that, which I would think in that kind of television where you're making, 22 a year, and it's these weeks. 26?
Sometimes 26.
24.
Yeah. 26, 24, 22, bounced around. Oh. But you were not just performing, you were writing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have all your brain cells firing to do that. We could
not
show
what
up
we were
the
doing.
next day.
Yeah. Not exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah. All brain cells firing from the masturbating bear.
Can we get a good shot of what's going on with Woody here?
I know.
Yeah, you should see.
There's a camera right there.
No, just a little. By the way,
Wrapped
Teddy
by
did
Mr.
it.
Dancing.
Wrapped by Dancing.
So Wrapped by Dancing.
RBD.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your
W.
socks.
Yeah. RBD.
That's W.
Wrapped. Sweet socks.
Why do they do that
you got-
phonetically? It makes no. Anyway,
Drink more of your blood. You got your weed socks on. And then you have your own dispensary. Is that the idea?
right down the road. I haven't seen you there yet.
No.
What's the address, Woody?
Well, you can just come and hang out in the Ganja Giggle Garden. Yeah, it's right there.
I would love to be in Dumois once for being in the Ganja Giggle Garden.
Yeah.
Instead of always, here he's having sushi. There he is chatting up some people and taking selfies when they don't want selfies. A little bit sick that way. The Ganja Giggle Garden you have at your
it's spectacular.
Koi
Really is
ponds
spectacular.
And, macaws and it's beautiful. It's like you're in the tropics or something. It's right down Santa Monica, just east of Sweetser.
Okay, I'll check
This
it
is
out.
the guy who won't do commercials on the podcast, but except for
promoting the woods.
The woods, yeah.
And also holy water. Now there's a bar too under the same roof, but
separated by law.
Separated by all the nonsense the government insists on.
Oh.
But it works. It works.
Yeah, no, it works great.
Yeah. It's actually beautiful. You should go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
It's the most beautiful dispensary ever.
I don't go to a lot of dispensaries, and I have nothing against it. It's just that in your experience, Sona, you've noticed that it doesn't. When I've tried,
it doesn't hit you.
Doesn't hit me. It somehow doesn't fit my personality.
You're
I
large.
metabolize it very quickly and turn it just into more self-hate.
Are you inhaling?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I think you're supposed to blow it at other people. Oh. Yeah, I got to get into it. Because you're a gummy person, Sona.
I do it all.
Yeah.
I don't discriminate.
I've moved to gummies.
You moved to gummies?
Yeah.
You're going to have to come.
I do. I absolutely do. And I want to.
Do
I live
or
in
have?
Altadena, so it's hard for me to
It's a little
go
commute.
further. But you know what?
If you're right here, it's
after
literally
work.
7 minutes from
That's
here.
great.
Okay.
That's great. We're trying to get her to work.
Oh,
And
maybe
she'll be in the Giggle
before.
Garden, the Ganja Giggle Garden. So Ted, you find the gummy. The gummy relaxes you.
Yeah. It's also I'm not trying to put smoke in my lungs anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So the gummies work.
Smart.
Yeah, the gummies work. I take gummies not to go to sleep, but to stay asleep. You can get the CBD with THC combo, and it really helps. Really works.
And you've done that for years, Sona. You've always said to me, you're gummy and you got a great night's sleep.
Oh, I love my gummies.
Now, when you were breastfeeding, no gummies, right?
No. And when I was pregnant, no gummies. But as soon as I was done,
What a purist.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't want to get my babies high, do I?
I don't know. They could have been. She had twins, and then what if they were born and they high-fived each other on the way out? Just
on the way out?
I don't know. They're just
of my
immediately.
body?
They're born cool. You know. They're just like they're relaxed. They saunter out.
There's little leather jackets waiting for them.
Yeah, they slip. No, they come out in the leather jackets and they high five and they saunter.
Yeah. Okay.
They've had a really good 9-month sleep.
That's true.
Yeah, start as you mean to continue, get them,
That's a really good idea.
You know what I mean?
You know, Woody, I
That's great
sometimes
advice.
wasn't sure you'd have the best advice, but
I should
think that's
just give
very
them
good.
some now to see if
Yeah.
it'll help them sleep.
Yeah.
1 milligram. 2.
What's that going to hurt? Please.
Whatever you do,
says
talk
the
about
guy
it on a
with 2
podcast.
ice packs on his body.
Yeah. So the guy who
slowly seeping
basically ate
lifeblood.
a Tesla about an hour ago and is covered in bandages is saying, "Do as I do."
Ironically, not high.
No.
You see how we're on camera with this? Tell the truth. Is it starting to ache a little bit elsewhere?
No, it's starting to ache less. It was
really
quite aching. This hand was just feeling. Man, I cut it open in several places.
Do you think you should go to the hospital? I mean, I know talking to me is a priority, but do you think that maybe it would be a good idea to get it checked out?
I feel like Dr. Danson took care of everything for me.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
But yeah, I will need some form of painkiller, no question.
I understand.
I did decide to quit. I just came back from San Francisco yesterday. And those 2 days I had, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done smoking. I'm done drinking. I'm not doing any of it anymore. And then after this accident, I'm like, I'm getting back on the phone.
If you hadn't quit for 2 days, you might not have hit the Tesla. When you think about it.
Maybe you tensed up and everything because you weren't in an altered state.
Tensed up.
Well, we have terrible ideas on this podcast. We're telling people all kinds of shit. You wouldn't have been in that motorcycle accident if you had been sober.
But the guy was great. The guy was so cool.
The
mean
Tesla.
Ben?
Hi.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
Well, first of
Well, I've
all,
been
it
drinking
was his
too.
son's car, so he was feeling bad about that part of it. It wasn't even his car. But he was the coolest guy. His name's Ben, and he's like trying to get me. So he says, "All right, what is your number so I can?" And I said, "Well, I don't have a phone." And he's like, "You don't have a phone?" It sounds really evasive.
This is my life.
Because
He
you
does
don't.
not
You
have
do
a
not
phone.
have a cell phone.
No.
You never have.
I had it until 4.5 years ago, and I got rid of it. So I was already seeming evasive to him, and then he's like, "Well, okay, what is your insurance?" And I said, "I don't know." Are you serious? Like I would know what my. So that was tough. And then he says, and then he wants he wants to see. Okay, show me your license. Right, so I show him my license, which I'm a Texan. It's a Texas license, and he's like, "Well, don't you have an LA license, a California license?" "No, I don't have." Well, luckily, anyway, we used his phone, called my wife. She came, and then she cleared everything
That's
up.
the obvious
She
thing.
had the
He
insurance.
recognized you immediately, yes?
He did once I took the helmet off, yes.
Okay, so this guy's in his Tesla. He's taking a left turn. Kathunk, kathunk, kathunk.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He gets out. And there's a guy lying there. He takes off his helmet.
I didn't
So what
take it off immediately. I for a little bit I had to get shall we say the mandatory lecture. Why are you passing me on the left?
Yeah,
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have. But why did?
Right.
And anyway,
Then you take it off.
Then
the
we
helmet
had
off.
the bike. Oh, by the way,
how was your bike?
You find out how nice people are. There's so many people stopped. Are you okay? Da, 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 da. Yes, please. People are like, it's a long line of cars going both directions, like slowing down. And I don't know if they're looky-loos, but it seemed like many were trying to be helpful. And then we try to push the bike, but the bike, somehow the brakes are just locked up on that bike, front and back wheel. So we're trying to move it, and it's pushing against the brakes. So it was just to get it the few feet out of the road. It's still sticking a little bit in the road. Honestly, at a certain point, couldn't push it anymore. And then I take off my helmet, and he goes, "Oh, I know you." He says, "I can't remember your name." Which, of course, Woody. And then we started talking, and he was actually a very nice guy. He had the best joke of the day, which was, after Laura came and she showed him the insurance card and everything, and I says, "And you make sure you have the number." And he goes, "Yeah, but you're married." Nice. And Laura laughed. "He's cool. I'm going to hang out with him again."
I think I know. I I know what your opening line's going to be. Have I got a houseboat for you? It's going to be.
Oh man!
I'm going to show up at that houseboat, and there's a guy that Ben's going to be there.
You and I will be in scuba equipment, drilling holes in the boat.
Coyote holes in the bottom of the boat. Woody, for God's sake, take care of yourself, all right? Because you are beloved. People love you, and just take care of yourself.
Thank you, sir.
All right? And go slow. Don't pass on the left. Just be careful, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I want to tell you both, honor to sit here with you and talk to you both. Hilarious and just a great hang. I mean, really, it's a treat, and I'm looking forward to your show. I know the first one just dropped, and they're coming fast and furious now. And I wish you nothing but success, as my people say, mazel tov. Mazel tov to both of you.
Thank you.
Mazel tov to you and your people.
I don't know what. But seriously, it's just cool to sit in a room with you guys. Thank you very much for doing this, and I think we should get you some real medical attention.
Hoi, hoi, hoi.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Slap in the face.
Yeah, we're going to get George Wenton here, who apparently just graduated from some Wisconsin
want to let
medical school.
people know that on our show, we also interview Conan.
That's right.
That's right.
And I think a wonderful interview.
Beautiful.
Very
Beautiful
nice.
interview.
Yeah.
Very respectful.
It's not how I remember it. I remember going home crying, weeping, but yes. And I'll do it anytime. Anytime you guys, on our show back in the day, when a guest fell through at the last minute, my first guest was always Al Roker. I'll be your Al Roker. Anytime you need.
God.
Anytime someone falls through, I'll come in.
Thank you, sir.
Roker.
Yeah.
I do too. Can we not get Al?
What's that?
Can we not get Al?
Oh, I see. Aim higher. Assholes! Assholes!
Can I tell you something though? I've been dying to bring this up with you. Just how your comment section, which I'm not sure if you read or not.
I don't read comments.
All right,
no.
I read your comments, and is the most humbling comment section for me ever.
Why?
Because the first time I did your show, I was very nervous, and you were wonderful, and you guys shot me well. You shot me kind of low angle, and I looked good, and it was a decent set. God was kind, and all the comments were like, "He's doing well. He's making us proud." And then at the end of it, you came and stood next to me on stage, and we looked like Frodo and Gandalf together. And the entire comment section, you can just see them go, "This fucking guy." Right? So we just looked like a pencil and a rubber together. It was terrible.
It didn't help that I was wearing an eraser on my head too. I apologize for that. No, you were hilarious right away, and I would say the gift of getting to do a late night show for all those years was meeting so many people that are funny in different ways.
Yeah.
And then being able to reach out to you and say, would you come by and do the podcast and get to see you, is it's joyous. I mean, that's a joy for me. It really is very meaningful.
Well, credit where it's due. I don't think anybody has championed more different comics and started more different careers than you have through late night. So I must give you that credit. The reason your show was the first thing I ever did in the States. I'd never done anything. Even my Netflix special was shot abroad. And so that was my introduction. So it really kicked everything off, that 5 minutes. It really was a powerful thing, and I'm grateful.
You are welcome here anytime. You won't be paid. That's the best part. And you'll probably have to wait in an immigration line.
Yes, done.
For a very long time. Well, this is a huge treat. Let me just make sure that I mention what's coming up next, just so that I do that.
Well, just Veerdas Landing. It's the new special on Netflix, so please watch that. And I think I'll be touring the States March 1st onwards. So it's veerdas.in is my site. So virdas.in. And there'll be some tour dates there. And I think that's that.
I can't wait to see. I have not seen the special. I can't wait to see it. When's it drop, as the kids say?
It has dropped.
It has dropped.
As the kids, I don't know what kids say. I was
kids don't say any of this.
Kids don't say. It's just one emoji and a frown. is what kids say.
I get a lot of poop emojis. Veer Das Landing is out now, and I'm a huge fan and an admirer of your approach, and mad respect. And thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having
Seriously,
me, guys. I
thank
appreciate
you. The question is, next year, what's it going to be?
No, what do we do?
We're going to do this again?
Oh yeah, we're going on a trip.
Next year,
fans demand it.
I am not drinking next year.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Why can't we all just like take an edible? That'll be fun.
Oh, okay, we could do that. I say we take an edible or mushrooms and go to Vegas.
Okay. Oh, that sounds good.
And I hate Vegas.
I have never.
I love
I don't do
Vegas.
edibles or mushrooms.
Oh.
Well, I mean, tell me about mushrooms. Would that be a good experience for me? I honestly don't know.
I don't know. I've never done them.
I bought them once, but couldn't carve out enough time to do them, so I've never done them either.
I've microdosed and it just made me nauseous.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people get that, but I'll do it.
Oh, we could do. Is Molly illegal? How about heroin? That's
Heroin's
cool,
illegal.
right? We can do over-the-counter heroin.
Yeah.
You know what I love when Sona said, "I bought these drugs, but I didn't carve out the time." I thought, I love a drug addict who's just a poor planner
and so busy.
Yeah, and it's just like, hey, did you get the stuff? I did. I got the stuff. I got the black tar heroin. Yeah. Did you get the spoon? Fuck.
And I really have my taxes to do. I can't fit this in.
No. And then I got to get the kids to the pool.
Promise.
And then I have
I get the Acura to the mechanic.
Yeah.
Husband.
No. I still don't know what that knocking sound is. Yeah, but what about the stuff? Huh? Oh, we'll get to that later. Can we just do it later?
Yeah. Just table it.
Yeah. Did you get the rubber thing that ties off the... No. I figured we'd have that around the house. Look, we can't do this now. My mother-in-law's here in half an hour. Did you fix the hole in the beanbag chair? No. All right. Well, listen, I had a good time. I do enjoy you guys, and I do want to say thank you to Matt, because you did a lot of the work. So you made a great drink.
Oh,
your lovely wife helped out.
Yeah, Sarah and Amanda and all.
Sarah was
the
a big
crew.
help. There's a whole crew of people
I know.
helping
Our
out.
crew is the best crew. I think.
Lay, I mean, a lot of people deserve a shout out. Eduardo, you were there.
Mikey, Josh for shooting the video. Chills.
Yeah. And the Solo Stove guys who made us those
You know what I have to say?
Chris, right?
I know we don't even have to mention it because it's not required, but those Solo Stove, the people that brought that pizza oven, they did an amazing job.
Yeah,
they were very nice
too. I want my pizza.
DG and Chris.
Is there still a Solo Stove here for me to take home?
No, that one stays at the building. You have to go out and buy your own.
No, I was promised a Solo Stove. That's the only reason I did this.
No, you thought you were promised a Solo Stove.
I did.
What I told you was have another drink.
Oh.
Okay. You just interpreted that.
Snookered again.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Hope you're enjoying your summer.
That's like one of those yearbook.
What is it?
Like when people sign yearbooks, have a good summer, KIT.
With some guilt involved. Like I hope you like
you're enjoying your summer.
Assholes.
Hope you're enjoying your summer with the world, the state it's in. That's what I want it to sound like. Hey, hope you're having a good time. Canada's on fire.
Oh.
Enjoy your summer, asshole. I gotta go rob a bank. Hey there. Welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, podcast that gives much more than it ever takes. Don't know what that means?
Yeah.
Just said it.
What do you mean?
I put no thought into these introductions. Sona, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Your leg is going a little fast today.
I know.
Are
Why?
you nervous about something?
Yeah, I'm really scared to be here.
Well, I don't know. You might be nervous. Your leg is going like a jackhammer.
Can I be honest? I think I had too much chocolate before we recorded, and I really think it's like sugar is pumping through my veins.
We all had a different place at this round table that I grew up at in our kitchen, and my seat was next to my mother. My mother was to my right, so I was on her left. And I have a jiggly leg.
Yeah. You have restless leg syndrome.
Restless leg, and it goes like a jackhammer. And my mother used to just grab it like a vice and squeeze it and go, "Don't do that. People will think something's wrong with you."
Oh, no.
Yes. And so we cleared that up. No one's ever thought something's wrong with me.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was that one thing.
Yeah. She didn't tell me don't make 900,000 hours of crazy fucked up content and put it all over the internet. I kept that leg still. Maybe if the leg was going, I'd be perfectly normal.
Maybe you should get a full leg cast, like a cast iron cast on your leg.
Or
then your whole body would start going.
Fake legs, so that my torso goes through. My torso's there, but then I just have fake. And then I could like add calf muscles, make them more attractive.
Where are your legs?
Where are your normal legs?
Where
How do you get around?
Legs?
I don't know. I would have them removed.
Oh, it's not like they're hidden?
I should have had them hidden, and I don't know why I went to removed.
Yeah.
So extreme.
I question that.
That's a bad idea.
I don't know. I'm going ahead with it anyway.
So this is always.
Yes, I've always had a restless leg, and I don't know why I called you out on yours because you really don't. You're
I
calm
don't
most
have
of the
one.
time.
I'm usually chill.
What about you, Gourley? Do you have any tics like that or any
Well,
leg
I have
stuff?
that actual restless legs condition at night when you get those horrible restless legs.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
It's like a syndrome. It's a thing where you get like pins and needles and you can't sleep and your legs feel crazy.
Oh, that sounds serious.
Oh,
are you okay?
I probably not.
Well, you should get checked out.
I have. There's nothing that can be done about it. It's neurological. They don't know what causes it. I didn't mean to bring this down.
So when you lay
I'm
down,
fine.
your legs have pins and needles?
Yeah, or they feel like they're like half asleep, but you got to move them, even though that doesn't really help.
Okay, I'm going to ask our listeners if there is a doctor listening or someone who knows about this condition, could you please contact us because there might be something going on here.
How do they contact us?
I'm sure Eduardo will tell us.
There's a phone number that they can leave a voicemail on.
I've spoken to my doctor.
I
It's
love
okay.
I love that we're a podcast that has a phone number. There's a phone number. 1555 Wrigley 22. You've spoken to a doctor.
I have, yeah.
Was it a good doctor or like some sort of kooky doctor that you might have?
It was a witch doctor.
I thought so.
No, it was my doctor, my general practitioner. Everything's fine. Don't. It's no one should have any concern.
Well, if you're kept awake at night by pins and needles feelings in your legs, don't go away. It's interesting. I don't know what that is. What if it just turns out you guys have termites?
Oh,
it's
no,
just an
you're being
infestation.
eaten.
Yeah, you're really being eaten alive as you lay in bed.
At least
That's
there'd
the
be
problem.
a solution. I'd take it.
I have an itchy back, like my right shoulder blade. And recently, my dermatologist said there's absolutely nothing there, and it's just neurological. It's an itch that isn't there. It's a phantom itch. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Do you have a back scratcher?
We did have one.
Then he
and
fired
then
him.
What's that?
He fired him.
I found out it's illegal to pay a man that little to scratch your back. The Better Business Bureau got involved. No, I think my wife found one, and then it disappeared. And now I swear to God, we'll be watching TV at night, and I'll stand up, get off the couch, go over to the wall, find a corner, and I'm like a bear in the woods. I start raking my back across the edge of a doorway.
Whoa.
And I'm told it's quite common. It's something that happens. It's neurological. It's not real, but it feels real to me.
We're fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is why we've been driven to this gig, I think.
You both have things that like are really not diagnosable. They're just neurological.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, I don't know. You might have stuff too. I don't think. Do you go to a doctor and stuff?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I know that your parents are very old school. Yes,
they are old school.
And you tell me all the time that your father grew up in a village.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so I don't know if you grew up. I mean, did they? I don't know what happened.
Did they what?
Did you grow up in a small village?
You know what? We weren't as dependent on doctors as a lot of people are, but maybe that's a good thing.
Sure.
But I don't think I have anything with my body that's like a neurological thing. I mean, I feel like you guys like that should be more concerning, but you're both like, whatever.
When you say it's not a bad thing that you never went to the doctor as a child.
Yeah.
I said we didn't rely on doctors as much as a lot of
You
people.
said dependent, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's
but
not
the first
bad
time I
to
met
have
your
to,
dad,
like-
I noticed that he has a pipe going through his head. And I said, well, what about that pipe? And he went, oh, it'll go away on its own. He said, this truck ahead of me dropped this off on the highway. It went through my head. 1969. But it'll be okay.
Why do you pick on my dad
I love
much?
your dad.
I know.
He's got the best mustache I've ever seen.
My dad's the best.
What would their remedy be for his neurological phantom itch?
Yeah. What would your mom say to do? Because I do trust she has some old like folk remedies.
She does have. She's very much in the old sort of like voodoo thing. Like when we wanted to have babies, I think I told you she like buried a baby under a bush. Not a real baby.
She buried a baby?
Not a real
What
baby.
the
Like she should have just given you the baby.
Wait a minute.
Give you the baby.
Wait a minute.
A baby doll. And guess what? It'll work.
Can I say something? You've got to say that.
Okay.
You've got to say that was so upsetting.
You did bury the lead.
It's so upsetting. We really wanted a baby, so she buried a baby in the backyard. What a monster.
Yeah, no, it was under a bush.
It was a baby doll?
It was a doll. She buried a doll under a bush.
Was it one of them? Is it a talking doll?
No, once we had the boys, she was like, it's done. It worked.
Can I say something? I was by your house, remember the last time? And I was walking around the backyard and I stepped on a loose piece of grass and I heard, Mama.
That baby's still alive.
No, it's a talking baby.
Where is this baby? So somewhere there's just a dirt-crusted baby sitting in your mom's house? Or
yeah.
What?
Probably hundreds of them.
Oh, God.
Yeah, for every day that Sona was married. For every day Sona was married, she would do it. 900 plastic baby dolls were stolen yesterday from a Walmart, plus a shovel. If police find either one, please report.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I really think you two need to figure out why these things are happening to your bodies.
I think we should talk to your mom.
Yeah.
I think my mom could fix it.
Can we have her in?
Yeah. Your mother, because I've noticed in the past when I have not felt well, you have told me, oh, here's what my mom would do, and it sounds pretty cool. Like your mom has good. I'm saying this. It sounds like she has really good remedies for some things. The burying the plastic baby. There's
a few missteps, but for the most part, she's been pretty. Like my brother and I are pretty healthy people. Like we're okay. We're alive.
Yeah, you don't sound convincing.
Yeah, we're alive.
Well, okay, Mr. Needle Legs and weird itch on my back.
Phantom itch.
Restless legs, thank you very much.
Restless leg and
you two
phantom
are
itch.
fucked up, and you're getting mad at me because of the way I'm dealing with my body.
We never got
shit.
mad at you,
We didn't
and
get
we're
mad
not
at you.
fucked up.
You come from a very judgy place.
I don't think so.
No.
Yes, you are. You're coming from a very
This
judgy
whole thing
place.
started with you going, you guys need to get that fucking checked out.
Yeah. You went from telling us you got to get that fucking checked out to my mother buried a baby in the backyard.
That we're allowed to judge, by the way.
By the way, that some judgment is in order. I think.
It worked.
Like
I have
the
two
sentencing.
How do you think my 2 children happened? You think that just happened?
I have a theory. Did she bury 2
just one.
baby dolls?
She just wanted children of some kind. I don't think it matters how many you bury.
How does this work if you're like, I really want a turkey sandwich? Do you just bury a turkey sandwich?
Oh my God. No, you just go get a turkey sandwich, Matt. That's how it works.
Okay.
No, you have to bury that sandwich, then hope another sandwich comes. And then when that sandwich doesn't come, you have to buy that sandwich and bury it. You die of starvation with 900 turkey sandwiches buried underneath the ground.
Go rub your back on the wall.
Go rub your back.
Go rub your back. I love that put down. Go rub it. You know, true story. My mother, if she was losing an argument to one of my sisters, and I swear to God I was there for this, she said, go wash your face. I heard this in like 1970. One of my sisters was going like, no, but Mom, I don't. She was like, go wash your face. Go wash your face.
There's a Shakespearean one that's go taste your legs, which means like use your legs, run away, go away.
I see. Make use of your legs. I like go wash your face.
I'm going to use go wash your face.
I'm going to use that on Liza next time she's
don't
talking
use that
to me.
on Liza.
Next time she's saying, how dare you smash all the dishes in the kitchen, which I do occasionally.
Oh.
It's sort of like a Zorba the Greek thing, like, yay, Zorba.
It is good luck.
Yeah. And then she gets mad at me. I'm going to go, go wash your face. I'm going to try it and see how it works.
No, I don't want you to say it to Liza, but I want to definitely say it to someone.
Go bury a baby.
Go bury the baby.
Okay.
Dark, very dark.
It is dark.
You got to say
doll.
Plastic baby or baby doll.
Yeah.
Which is not what you did.
I know. I should have said that.
Well, your own fault. Anyway. Hello there. Welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I am the aforementioned Conan O'Brien. Joined, I believe that these should be a little more formal. Joined by the erstwhile
I'm the aforementioned friend, buddy.
No, you're no friend of mine.
He needs you.
You are an appendage. You are a necessary part in a very large car. A small, greasy part, but still a part.
Necessary.
Matt Gourley. And then, of course, yes, you are necessary. Without you, the transmission
It's
would...
too late. I quit.
Yeah.
The car broke down.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Wait, I just replaced it with a different part, and it's humming along even better than before.
I'm free! Leave me on the road!
I'm the useless part on the car.
No, of course not. These are all just jests, jibes, joshes, and jokeroos. I'm just kidding with you there, Sona. You look good. Man, your hair bun, let me describe to the listener right now. It's really high.
Is it?
Yeah, and your headset is pushed up against it.
I have coils in it.
Why do you have coils in there?
It can put my hair in a bun without messing up my curls.
You know what's fun?
Isn't that crazy?
Look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah, there's two of them holding them together.
Good Lord.
Don't make jokes about like how like greasy it is and stuff.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to do that.
So much product
You
in my
already called me greasy. So.
Doesn't this look like a Victorian birth control device?
It is.
It does. It's a weird spring.
That's how my first child was not conceived.
You've kept track of all the children that have not been conceived over the years for different reasons?
Yeah.
The billions and billions of them? Okay, you're taking a lot of metal out of your hair. Are you okay?
Yeah.
What's happening? How do you get through an airport detector?
What? You have a Saturday night special in there.
Yeah.
You told me about my hair being up.
You have an early printing press in there. You can keep so much stuff in that. That thick hair of yours can conceal so
Just a
much.
vein of iron ore.
Yeah.
It's just two coils.
Look, a late 50s Japanese robot just came out.
Kaiju!
Oh, stop it. Oh, man.
Yeah, I got a lot. There's a lot in there.
There's a lot in there.
Yeah, you're one to talk about hair being high, though.
Yes.
You're two high hairers over here.
We are.
I'm a low hair guy.
You are.
Yeah, I got no body.
That's right.
And I got nobody.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
I ain't got no friends.
Poorly. That's not true. Do you have friends? I actually don't know if you have friends.
You've asked me this before. Yes, I have.
But seriously, who are they?
What do you mean?
You say
I got
you have
Jimmy
friends.
Blade. I got J-Town.
Yeah.
I got Malarkey
You
McConville.
got Bill, etc. You don't have any friends, do
Do you have bros? Do you have like a crew?
Well, we're not bros.
You guys don't like.
We don't fall in bro class.
But do you have friends?
Yes, of course I have friends. I have great friends.
No, but you say that, and then fake names come out, and you do jokes to divert. Do you really have friends?
Yes, and those aren't fake names. They're nicknames, but they're the nicknames of my best friends.
That was not.
Your bros, your entourage. That's what bros do. Is they give each other nicknames.
Not these bros. These are we're not bros. We're boon companions.
Yes.
Yeah. We're just pals. We're buddies. We call each other buddies. Hi, buddy.
All right.
That's nice. Do you have nicknames for your crew?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Do you?
No.
Yeah.
What are your nicknames for your crew?
One is awful. I've been calling her Piss since we were 12.
Oh, I remember this because at your book event, she said, hi, what's her real name?
Christina.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that.
How do you
because
get
she
Piss
said,
from Christina?
Well, it was amazing because she said, hi, I'm Christina. You probably know me as Piss.
So why do you call her Piss?
We were 12, and I accidentally said, I was going to say Chris, and I said Piss instead. And I was like, oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. And then I just called her Piss forever.
It's great.
She saved under my phone as Piss. When my parents are like, I say, oh, Christina's coming over. They're like, Piss? I was like, yeah. And everyone just knows her as Piss. It's awful. And she has 2 kids now, so I'm trying to stop calling her Piss, but it's stuck.
Yeah.
It's solid. That's a solid nickname.
That's a good nickname.
Yeah.
Is it?
Piss.
Yeah.
No, it's not good.
Well, it's better than urine.
Yeah, that's true.
That's 2 syllables.
Has she ever gone on like a Loveline radio show connection thing and go like, I'd love to send a song out to Brian. Would you tell him that Piss loves her?
She won't refer to herself as Piss.
She did when I met her.
That's true, but I think that's because she knows you're meeting her in my context.
I was in a bookstore yesterday and I saw Sona's book, and this is a legitimate bookstore.
What the hell
I was
does
stunned.
that mean?
And I held up the book and said, oh my God, my assistant wrote a book about me. And the woman who runs the bookstore said, are you okay with that? And she thought it was, like a mean tell-all. And I said, yeah, it's all pretty truthful, sure. But the woman who ran the bookstore was really horrified.
Are you talking about this New York Times best-selling book?
Yeah, it's New York Times bestseller.
It's incredible.
Does it anger you that I am a New York Times bestseller?
No,
You're
because you got in under a special category.
What do you mean?
Immigrant writing.
Okay, that's not. I'm not even an immigrant. That's not even a category. What are you talking about?
It is. That's yeah.
No, you can't make things up to make it make more sense.
No, I am very proud of you, Sona. You know
there's
that.
something legitimately wrong that I am, and you haven't yet. Like you will eventually.
Well, first of all, yes. Whenever I decide to write my tome, it'll immediately rocket to the top of the charts.
It will. I really. If mine did just off of your back, I'm just saying it. It's
a very funny book.
Yes.
You just and listen, I do not begrudge you any of your success.
Not at all.
But this is ironic, and it felt like you would approve. I shoplifted the book.
Hey!
Oh, wow.
Shoplifted
Great
it.
idea.
Yeah, and then the old woman caught me on my way out, so I struck her several times and ran, and now I'm wanted.
You could never shoplift.
I could never beat up an old woman.
I know that.
She'd
that
tear my
part
head.
I was like,
She'd
that
tear
makes
my
sense.
head off. I swung at her. She ducked and she said, "Come at me, swizzle stick."
I found the shoplifting part more strange than you beating up a woman.
I know that
An
wouldn't
old
happen.
lady.
Yeah.